Awesome. I'm just working on a GitHub Action. GitHub Actions to deploy my Azure Spring Apps. So this is it. Have fun. Join me. Ask questions. Thanks for joining. All right, let's run. I've got my destroy log analytics. Let's take a look and try to run that manually. Thomas, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Do you use Azure? That's what I'm doing right now. Does everything sound okay? Can you hear the music? I'm still getting my setup all figured out. Excuse me. Getting set. So what I just ran was I want to destroy these log analytics. I have some extra log analytics workspaces that are sitting around and I want to get rid of them. So right now I'm doing a cleanup. So I'm hoping that I can create an environment and then clean it up for a simple use case, a simple example. It takes a little bit of time, but I think that putting myself on the stream is going to help me kind of like focus and get it done. It's something I've been wanting to do for a little while. I should stream in 1080p. Text is more readable. Let me see if I can do that. You know what? I might not be able to do that. How do I? Settings, camera. Oh, maybe I can't make that change. General. Thanks. I will look into that. I think I can do that. I should do that. All right. But thanks. How does it sound? You know what I can do? I can do this. That ought to help. And then here, is this readable? Is the IDE readable? Let's see. So we failed. Why do we fail? I'm trying to delete a workspace name. What happened? Unrecognized arguments, resource group. Oh, did I have a dash instead of a dash? I'm in here, destroy log analytics. Workspace name is here. Force true. Oh, yeah, I need a dash resource group. All right, get it. Add that. Dash resource group. Excellent. I gotta move things. I can't see. All right. Good. Thanks. I'm glad it sounds good. I will try to get this. Maybe this will work better. Is that any better? Is that more readable? All right, now I got to go back and rerun this. I'm making small changes. We're doing little things at a time. This is how I work. And I'm very comfortable with that. Let's run it again. Now that I have my resource group set up. So in Azure, one of the cool things about Azure is I can destroy a whole resource group. But for this case, I kind of want to keep a resource group around because I've assigned some roles to that resource group. I want my GitHub Action to be able to do things in that resource group. So I don't want to delete the resource group. And because I'm not deleting the whole resource group, I want to make sure that everything that I put in to that resource group, I'm taking out. I can clean up behind myself. That's a big thing. Did that fail already? Resource group, what happened? Unrecognized, wait, isn't that the one I just did? Yeah, 3 minutes ago. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. Here, we're running. Let's see, we can hide that. And I'm literally just doing this one step at a time. So deleting the container app worked. And now when I create that container app, it creates a workspace. And hopefully this will only need to delete one. Right now there's multiple, and I'm just trying to create the automation. I don't want to have to go into the Azure portal. That's the main thing. If I'm creating an app, I want to deploy an app. I don't want to have to do click ops. I want to be able to automate it as much as possible. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. So all I've done, because I'm testing a new extension to the CLI, I'm not using ARM templates. I'm using the Azure CLI. I'm adding that extension. I'm adding the registers, and I'm using this GitHub Action for the Azure CLI. I say, hey, here's my version. I'm adding the things. I'm creating my container app for ASA. Then I'm adding the new extension that I'm messing with. And then I'm doing the Azure Spring, create the ASA, create the app. You have to kind of create a bucket for that app before you can deploy to it. And when I'm done, I want to make sure that I delete that app, and I want to delete the log analytics workspace that gets generated with that. I'm going to need this one on the next one. Hopefully this runs. So it's taking a little bit. So I think maybe we're making a little bit of progress. Thanks for joining. Let everybody know where you're from. If you're watching, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, USA, and just trying to do this little GitHub action to set up my Azure Spring Apps and delete it. Create and destroy. Clean up behind myself. That's it. It takes a little bit of time, but it looks like it's working. I'm guessing. Why can't I see this one? I want to be able to see it. Oh, I bet it's because I only have the one. You see a way of looking closer? So this is good. It's taking a little bit longer, and I think that that's just a good sign at this point, since it was failing before. So I'm gonna go back here and destroy this one. That one took 1 minute. This one's taking a little bit of time, so good. And I only need this to work once, even though I've got multiple workspaces hanging out. I only need it to work once. I'll show you. If I do AZ works, look. AZ monitor log analytics workspace list.
Dad,
Yeah, sweetie.
when are you done looking?
Actually, be too much longer. Okay.
How long?
Can we say like 20 minutes?
No.
Oh,
Long time.
long time. No, it's 20 minutes. It's not that long.
Yes, it
No.
is.
Hey, but listen, sweetie pie. Hey, I'm on a live stream right now, so you need to go out there and close the door.
It's gonna
What
be
do you
a
mean?
long
Hey,
time.
sweetie pie, you gotta go out there and close the door.
It's a long time.
Not a long time.
Yes, it
But you know
is.
what? You're making it take longer right now. Can you help out there? Here, give me a hug first. Give me a hug. Oh, okay, okay. Get back out there. I love you. All right, so I should do this and then maybe pipe to rep workspace, and we'll see that. Hey, I've got more than one. I've got some sitting there. Yeah. So I want to delete all those. And this is still running. I don't know why it takes so long. That is one thing that I already learned on this, is that if I do the dash wait or don't wait, then sometimes it doesn't work. Like the GitHub action completes and the things weren't deleted. So I had to remove that kind of the no wait from these actions. I'm gonna close that door. Still going. Deleting a login analytics workspace. It's taking a little bit of time, but I'm okay with that as long as it gets done. So there are 4 workspaces that I would like to delete. I just want to prove that I can delete one. I'll be in good shape if I can do that, because then I can say, hey, delete the container app that I create, and then delete the login analytics workspace that got created with it without needing to know the name. That's all I care about. This is high quality streaming with the kids in the background, I'm sure. But that's okay. All right, come on. Still going, and I can't see it. Oh, it looks like it ran successfully. This is good. All right, now let's take a look. Here, I want to see which one it deleted. Oh, it doesn't even tell me the name, but that's okay, because now I can go and look, and I can say, hey, I'm going to run that same command. And now I only see 3. That's a good thing. So if I run that again, yeah, it's grabbing the first one. If I run that again, I expect that I will only see 2 after it. It's going to take a while, and that's okay. I just want to just double checking. I'm validating a little bit. Let's run this workflow. I'm doing it manually. I haven't really put together how I want to have this automatic. Everything should live in a Git repo. Infrastructure, documentation, all the things. Absolutely right. You bring up the infrastructure. I'm doing that right now. It's not Terraform, because like I said, I'm doing kind of a on the edge new extension for the CLI. And there's no ARM templates or Terraform available for it yet, but I still have it in my GitHub repo as a GitHub action. I'll probably duplicate it. I'm having a lot of fun doing Circle CI, and it's okay to have more than one pipeline. But you bring up the documentation for this project specifically. I'd like to show it off. It's something that we did on a code episode, and in this project, I'm using Spring REST docs so that the documentation is going to get deployed with the application. So I'm not sure if I showed you this, Thomas, but let's do this while that second one. Oh, wait, did it run already? Whoa. Did that run already? I'm going to do it again. Why did the first one take 9 minutes and the second one only took 1 minute? That's pretty interesting. Unless it was like something to do with the cached container. Look at that. It sure is going a whole lot faster. Because now I get that output. That's okay. I'm all right with that as long as it's working. So what I expect is when that's done, this is the first one that worked, second one, so now I should have only 1 or 2 left. If I run my command again, and we got 2 left, and it's working on the third. Excellent. So while that's running, let's do this. I want to show you, I don't need to do all that. V&W clean Spring. Actually, I got a new package because I want my test to run. Spring boot run. I don't think I have anything else running on 8080, so this should work. All right, ran all my tests, and those tests generated my documentation. So watch this. So now that my app is running on 8080, I did something really cool as a part of my build. I actually had my documentation deployed with it. So I ran my tests. My tests generated my documentation. I'll show you what that looks like. It's pretty slick. So in my test, I have this web layer test. Here's an example. Should return an image for StreamYard, which I'm doing right now. And hey, it performs this get on this endpoint, and it captures the output. I expect that output is going to be an image PNG, and then I actually store that. And here's what it looks like when I go locally, because I put it at the root of my API. localhost 8080, I actually see, here's an example of that curl request that I can go call. And here's what the example output looks like. That's for the template. Let's go down here to the StreamYard example. And this is the test that passed, and I generated my documentation. So what it did was it created these snippets, generated snippets. Here's one for StreamYard. And I have lots of them to choose from. I have a curl request, HTTP request. I did the HTTP PI request and the curl request. And I said, hey, I want to capture those in my documentation here. Down here for StreamYard, I said, hey, I want the curl request and the HTTP PI request. I want those snippets included in my documentation. And then those get shipped with my app. So my app got packaged and delivered. It's running on 8080. There it is. So my documentation always matches my tests. My tests always match when I'm pushing to production. So yeah, that's one way to keep my infrastructure and my documentation mapped, aligned with what's actually getting deployed. All pipeline. Good stuff. That makes me happy. So let's go back here. And good. Now I should only have one of those analytics workspaces left. And I do. I've only got one. So let's go ahead and delete. Let's run that one more time. Just because. And now, when this is done, my resource group will be completely empty. Everything that I created is being destroyed. So let's go look at how I'm creating that. I'm going to update this one. I'll cancel my run here. So that's that destroyed Gen 2 that I'm testing. Yes, that is awesome. Much better than Confluence face blue smiling. Yep. I'm a big fan. And pretty soon I have to show how to get the REST docs exported as Open API spec so we can do other cool things with all the automation that can happen around the Open API spec. All right, so let's go back to my create. So here I have, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing this AZ login. I'm using the same CLI. I don't need this. Using the Azure CLI, and this is all available. I should probably put that into. All right, if you want to play along, let me add that URL. I like to do it live, and I love help. So here's where I'm working at. And let me add that to the little banner. Now I'm going to do this, hide, edit. Oop. Save. There we go. How's that? If you want to play along, you can. Excellent. And let's go. So that's where we're at. And the whole idea is I want to get this app. I want to have a place for it to be deployed. I want to validate it. I want to do all those cool things. So that's what I'm working towards, a way that I can say, hey, deploy this app, do all the cool things, and then when I'm done messing with it, I can destroy it. Clean up behind myself. All right. So now we're back here. Good. I should be at 0 workspaces. Ooh, over here. Done. Excellent. I'm feeling good. So now what do I want to do? I want to show that this works. Let's go and create it. I want to create this new ASA workspace running that GitHub Action. Does that GitHub Action, does it make sense? I'm creating this using the latest Ubuntu. I'm doing the Azure login. All right, so this CLI action, what I want to do is I'm going to rename that because this is the main point. Container app maybe create, and then maybe I will, and Spring App create. Just for naming. Hopefully this works. Hey, Icon, thank you so much for joining. Awesome. It is wonderful to see you. I am working in Azure. Thomas, excellent. Thank you for joining. Have a good evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining. Excellent. Let's see how this is working. The main thing that I'm trying to do is when I deploy something in the cloud, I want to clean it up. So I've got this little app. This app doesn't need to be out there all the time, but maybe it'll stay out there. I want to deploy it, and when I'm done with it, I want to be able to destroy it. Everything. I also want to have a nice way of deploying updates. So that'll be another part. If I have time, that'll be something else that I do. I'm going to stream for about another 30 minutes. I know I told my daughter 20. But I'm going to stream for another 30 minutes. I just want to get through this. And I'm using the stream as my way of getting it done. We've got lots of new toys in there, new furniture, new toys. So it's a little loud. My nieces and nephews are here. All right. So after I do this, the Spring App create, the next thing I want to do is I want to be able to deploy it. So I'm going to make another workflow. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to refactor, copy, and I'm going to say deploy. So in order to deploy the app, what I want to do is I'm still going to log in. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do something similar, but I'm going to check out. I'm going to find an example of checkout. Do I have a checkout? Do I have anything else open? I don't. What else? Do I have anything that's good? This one. I'm just doing copy pasta. I log in, I do the retry. Oh, that's not the one. This one. Here. There, actions checkout, submodules. I don't think I need submodules. So that does the checkout, and then I'm going to build it. Build the image. In order to do that, I want to run again w clean package so that I get all my tests and I get my documentation generated. And then that's it. Because I'm deploying the jar file. Let me take a look here. Let me take a look. This is what I'm working on. So here, I'm not skipping the tests. This is part of my pipeline, so there's no need for me to skip the test. But then this will be the next step that I do. I want to do this AZ Spring App deploy, and I'm hard coding some of these values because that's a part of my pipeline. So here I do, this is going to be the AZ Spring App deploy. And because I'm using this new extension, I do need to do this. I don't think I need to do these two because I'm not creating the container app. I don't need to do this. I do need to do this because it's a new workflow. I do need to add these extensions. You know what? I might need those as a part of adding this extension. Let's try without. So I'm not going to do these. I am going to add that because the next thing I need to do is this one. I did copy pasta. I'm doing the AZ Spring App deploy. And I will put in my resource group, which I hard coded is Tanzu TV. Service name, I also hard coded Tanzu TV ASA. Tanzu TV ASA. That name is image service. Image service artifact. All right, this is going to be slash target slash, I have a capture over here from work that I was doing earlier. Right here. Slash, where did I put it? Put it out. Boom. And then I don't have any keys. Actually, I should just grab that whole section from that other script. Runtime version, JVM options. Finish that up. My deploy app. Zoink, zoink. Here. There. I have all my options. Minimum of 1 gig, maximum of 2 gigs. It's a simple app. And I'm actually using this app kind of in like a interesting way. I'm deploying it, and I don't expect this app to stick around. So this thing that I'm working on, this is the Azure Spring Apps consumption plan that's going to, scale to 0 for my app. So let's see. I think that's it. Oh, I need to run that afterwards. So when I deploy it, after I deploy it, then I want to do this scale. And I think I already have that as well. I want to say, hey, for this app, you can scale it to 0. If it's not being used, scale it to 0. And if it is being used, it'll stand up and then it'll run. That's the slick part. Again, I don't want to use any resources. And I don't want this app that's going to get used once or twice a week or maybe 5 times a week. I don't want it consuming resources that it doesn't need. But this is a regular app. It's not a function. I didn't do anything special. This is a regular Spring Boot MVC app. Scale resource group is Tanzu TV. This is experimental. This is a early access for what we're doing here. Just trying it out. So here's where I said, hey, it's okay to scale this down to 0. It does not have to be running all the time. And at most, I want you to have 2 instances. All right, I think I'm good. So let's go back. What did I do last? I'm here. I tried to do the gen, and what happened? Something failed. It says the command usually takes minutes to run. This was not found. The resource was not found. So somewhere in my create gen 2, this part wasn't found. Is that right? I did this resource group. The managed environment is here, Tanzu TV ASA. Okay, what did I do wrong here? So is that the part that worked? Creating log analytics workspace, I see that. Let's go back to my resource group. And I'm looking at the portal, which is my least favorite thing. I see that I have a container apps environment called Tanzu TSA or TDASA. It worked. And then the log analytics workspace ends in ZYN. I'm just verifying that it's the exact same. Where is it? Here we go. Under resource group was not the resource. Microsoft App Platform Spring Tanzu TV ASA. Why is this? I don't know. Hey, guys, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you so much. We are doing Azure. I'm trying to build some GitHub Actions for a new extension that I got early access to try to create an environment and destroy the environment behind me. So I apologize. Hey, thanks, Icon. Would this strategy be good? This is a REST application. So let me show you what that looks like. This is a REST application. It's an application that it's going to be used sometimes. So there's tons of options that you could use this pattern for. And this is a really unique thing. But let's go take a quick peek at what is this application. This is my REST application. And I've got a Git endpoint for a template that'll go and download the blank template that I'm using for this image. It'll grab a StreamYard version, which is just a different size of the blank image. This is something that we had ChatGPT code this endpoint. I'm not going to expose that. But then I have this custom endpoint. And with this custom endpoint, you post what do you want on the image. And then I'll show you what that looks like. Over here, let me actually start it up again. WP package Spring Boot run. This is just running my local app, but it could be any RESTful service. Mine just generates the documentation with it. And this one is doing some image manipulation. So localhost, it's right here. I hit refresh. So yeah, here's my app. Here's what we're working with. We're working, this is Spring Office Hours image service. You can see the repository is down on the banner there. And and you have a way. This is what you're going to do, except I'm going to deploy this to Azure. So when I do that, I'm going to have my documentation updated to the Azure address. We'll get to that later, maybe. But yeah, this is an example of the template. It's just an automatic, hey, here's what you're getting back. Here's an example of that custom endpoint where I pass in test banner is what I want on there. And at the bottom, it puts in test banner. So this is where the copy goes. And this is for the show that we're doing, right? If I go to Spring Office Hours, springofficehours.io, that'll take you to the spot where we're doing all of our shows. You see these images, these thumbnails that we're generating. I don't want to have to manually do those. When we create the show, I want to be, hey, go create this image. This is what I'm doing. Automate all the things. So this is an example of what I'm trying to provide for me and my co-host Dan. When we create these shows, we want to have an image, a thumbnail image. So this is what we're doing. Icon, you probably totally understand this since you've helped me out on the Barbecue Wednesday project. This is what I'm doing. I want to be able to create thumbnails programmatically. I don't have to do it manually. I don't have to open up GIMP or Canva or anything. I want to do it automatically. So this is how I'm doing it. I'm creating a service that I can just call, hey, give me a new thumbnail for episode 51 with the guest, special guest icon, right? And then I'll get a thumbnail that looks like this and it'll say episode X, special guest icon. That's the plan. That's what we're doing. Simple stuff. It's nothing magic, but it's a RESTful endpoint that generates these images. And I'm taking this application, I'm bundling it, I'm deploying it to Azure Spring Apps, and then hopefully I can use it. But right now, I'm running into a problem where I'm not sure why. I want it to, do I want to delete it and then try again? But here, I feel like this is the wrong format. The resource, Microsoft, let me look at the resource. If I go to the JSON view of that, Microsoft app managed. Oh, okay. So here's the problem. There's a managed environment called Tanzu TV. So somewhere I got confused here. So let's go back and look. let's go back and look here. I have this example that I worked through before where I said, hey, create this extension. I create the managed environment. That's what I'm doing here is I'm creating the managed environment, create, and this is the managed environment name. So here, when I do the extension, all right, so here's the problem. This service isn't the managed environment name. Got it. So I'm close. So let's go back here. Nope. I'm going to go back here, back to where I started. So thank you. Yes, we can do this together. We can figure this out. So if there's any questions, ask. I will try to do a better job of paying attention to the chat, but I'm also trying to wrap this up fast. So the first thing, we want to create this Azure Spring Apps consumption plan. This is what I'm doing. I'm just following along, log in. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just making it automatic. I did that. Next, set the following environment variables. The managed environment, which I just set, is actually Tanzu TV ASA. Let me show, right? That's here, not here. And then I create an environment. This AZ create environment, the managed environment name, that's this step right here. Okay, match. AZ, container app, ENV create, name, yes, resource group, yes, location. Name, resource group, location. Cool. That's where we're at. We've done this part. Step 2, deploy an Azure Spring Apps instance. So here we do this. I don't need to do this because I didn't install it. We're adding this extension. Let's look. We add the extension that matches. Then, oh, see, look at this. I didn't do this part. So I totally skipped over this part. Let's add that in. So here, I want to add in where we register the Microsoft App Platform. Then it says set the following environment variables. Resource group Spring Apps name. So this is the service name I have to set. Spring Apps name. So that when we do this, a managed DMV. Okay, I can do that. I don't have to create that value because I can just use it here. So the next thing is when I use the AZ Spring Create. Did I not do that? See, I did the app create. I didn't do the Spring Create. So I got to do this. Actually, I think I have an example of that already. See, I did it over here. Remove, add, then I did the register, then I did the create. So I need to do this. Let's hope it'd be one line. So we are going to create. After that, we do the Spring Create. I'm going to put it on one line. And my resource group is Tanzu TV. The name, the Spring Apps name, Tanzu TV ASA app. Cool. Hard coded that, and that's okay. Now the managed environment resource ID, I have to do this. I got to paste this value. And I got to fill in my values. Here we go. I'm going to close this one so I can see the chat. I appreciate you, James. I appreciate you saying that a lot because one of the things that I have a hard time is like stopping with the simple stuff. I want to take it to production. And this is, I think one of the things that I can be of value to the community is getting things to production and showing once you get your Hello World or your RESTful app or whatever, once you do that, what are your options? How can you get to production? Because a lot of times the problem, Spring Boot is amazing. Spring Frameworks is amazing. And you can do a lot of really cool things really fast. But then what? Right? We want to get to production. So I think that that's where I can provide a lot of value. And that's what I'm hopefully do more of here in 2023 is I want to show how easy it is or how easy it can be to get apps to production. And yeah, take away some of the headaches and the pain. Because once I've built my Hello World app, I want to get to production, and that's when I get excited. Just having it done locally, that's not really that great of a deal. Yes. Whenever you can you touch on starting your software business right after college? I will. And I think that's actually a good topic for what I'm doing with Barbecue Wednesday. I actually started my software business while I was in college, and I used that business to kind of take the stuff that I was learning, take it to production and make it stick, right? It's one thing to be able to create the apps that you build in school. It's another one to be able to create it, get it into production, and then get somebody else to buy it, right? We're all doing this to make somebody money, right? Some company money. That's a big deal. And the more efficient we can do, the more money we can make, and the more valuable we can be. So, yes. I am using IntelliJ old UI. I tried to use the new one, and I had some problems. I wasn't able to like navigate, especially when I was doing on stream. So yes, I'm using the old UI for now, but I will probably switch back. All right, so let's get back here. We're doing this name. I changed the management environment, so I want this. I am replacing all of this. So my name, my managed environment name is up here, Tanzu TV, ASA, and then my resource group. And I could make this easier on myself, but I'm not. Get it to work first and then do the cleanup, right? I'm going to query that, and I'm going to take that output, and that output, the output of this command is going to be the input for this command, this managed environment. Nope, you cannot. I'll be done in 13 minutes, yes. That was my daughter. All right, so this last thing is what I'm creating this new SKU. And you won't be able to follow exactly along with this because, like I said, this is kind of an early access deal. But the concept is the same. The concept of cleaning up behind yourself. What I'm doing is actually a valuable exercise. And this is going to be in East US. So I did that. Now I'm doing the AZ Spring Create. And then let's go back and look at this previous run through that I did. I did the Spring Create, then I do the clean package. So let's just call that good. I do the Spring Create, and then I do the Spring App Create. That's what I need. So I'm going to go back here. I want to do the Spring Create and the Spring App Create. That's going to be the container for my jar file that I'm going to deploy. All right, so container app, Spring, let's do this, AZ create, and AZ Spring. Right, so I'm making those changes. As I ran this just a second ago, what I should do, not this one, I ran this, it created this space, this Gen 2 space. What I should do, and now I have to do more cleanup because I'm creating more things. I have to clean up more things. Let's push this stuff. Not that file. I don't know what that is. All right, thank you. You all heard that. So let's hurry. We'll let the 8 kids and the 7 adults upstairs, we'll let them all get started. And we'll try to get one more rep in. One more rep. Let's add those. So I pushed that. I think if I run it, I think it'll say, hey, it's already there. So I want to delete it, but I want to hurry. So what I'm going to do is go up here. I'm going to say, hey, let's see if this, oops, I had this deploy app is called, I want this to be deploy. Renaming it. All right, so we're here, actions. Now I have a deploy app, but I also have this destroy. So I want to destroy the thing that I tried to create before. Let's see if we can run that. Hopefully it'll go fast. And I have these tasks all manually triggered right now, so nothing automatic, because what's probably going to happen is I'm going to have this container, this Azure Spring App set up, that container to hold my app set up, and I'll be releasing new versions of that image service as I go. So there's kind of a two-part thing, that infrastructure, setting up the infrastructure, and then being able to update apps regular, that CI/CD process. I want to be able to continuously deploy my app and my infrastructure. So let's see. Since I'm wrapping, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's turn it down a tiny bit. That's my reminder. All right, let's see what it looks like. I'm trying to destroy the stuff that I created. It did create a workspace, so I'll have to do this. Actually, I can do them both. I can go destroy the log analytics in parallel. Oh, I guess this one does that too. That was kind of a catch-all. All right, let's see if this works. I'm looking up at my resource group to see if it's there. Oh, nope, it's still there. That delete. So because I am here, I'm creating the container app. I'm also doing the AZ Spring Create and the AZ App Create. In my destroy, I should be doing, but I bet you there's an order there. I bet I need to do the AZ Spring App, destroy, then do the AZ Spring destroy. And those are just kind of the opposite of what I did here. I created a container app, then the Spring container, and then the Spring app. And I should do those in reverse, so that when I'm deleting my container app, it's going to say, hey, you got something in there. So I'm going to do it in reverse. I'll do the AZ Spring app destroy, and I bet you I could copy this and give it the same AZ Spring app destroy. I'm going to make this AZ Spring app destroy. It's in the same resource group, same service, but remember I had the wrong service name over here. Did I fix it? No, I didn't, because this service is Tanzu TV ASA app. That's what I named it. So we'll get there. It's going to be a little bit out of funk for a minute, but I will definitely. All right. Hey, we talked about this. Are you using Docker? I do use Docker. So what this is going to look like going forward is locally, I'll have a Docker setup that'll have these services running locally, because I don't want to have to deploy to Azure in order to test my changes. So I will have a local Docker environment running that'll have these apps running. And I will also probably have a Kubernetes. I want to be able to show all these different environments for you. So I'm going to go eat here, but I am going to be back. I'll do a little bit more streaming later. So James, I hope to see you back later. But when I do come back, I will talk more about Docker and what that looks like running locally. So let's see if we can get this going. That's still deleting. Here's what I'm going to do. So did anything run? So it destroyed the log analytics. That's good. I can take a look at my Cool. So now it's still trying to destroy the container apps environment that I created here. It's taking a while, and that's okay. So I think I have a good set of changes here. I'm going to try to destroy. I did this. The name, I don't need these properties when I do the destroy. And I don't need that. And then, so I do the AZ Spring App destroy. And then I'm going to do this, where I'm going to do the opposite, where I created, I'm going to destroy the AZ Spring. And I think I just need to do this, the resource group, the name, AZ Spring. I don't think I need the managed environment. Maybe I do. Let's leave that. But I shouldn't need this. Maybe I need that. Let's see. And then, so again, delete them in the order that I created them. I think we're in good shape here. ASA app. All right. So let's get the status. Add both of those. I'm guessing a little bit. You are about to make pasta. All right. Icon, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. James, I will hopefully see you later. And you're about to make pasta. Let's roll. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Right. All right. Sure. This is still taking a little while. That's okay. But I do need it because I'm hard coding names. I do need it to finish before I can test my create. But dinner started, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining. A short little stream, but I'll come back and I will do more. Thanks so much. Let's get out of here. I'll see ya.